And the year has begun, but so much has happened. You would be forgiven thinking that we were already in June. So if we ask ourselves then what the state of the world is in 2026, and ask how do we make sense of what is going on in the world. I would propose the following. The existing world order was forged after the Second World War when the victors and the most powerful nations won that war and earned themselves the opportunity, place to shape global affairs. These nations were namely the United States, the United Kingdom, France, Russia, and China. These nations would be known as the P5 or the Powerful Five. Their outsized role in fighting and winning the Second World War and then in building and acquiring nuclear weapons cemented their role as leaders and explains their place at the United Nations Security Council. These nations created and support the United Nations, the Bretton Woods institutions, the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, the World Trade Organizations, and a myriad of United Nations organs, including the World Health Organization. The world comes together through the integration of factor markets and the markets for goods and services. At the international level, these are the markets for imports and exports. Households, firms, and governments interact through these markets. The government's task is to maximize the welfare of households and firms. The maximization of welfare is achieved through the provision of public goods. Governments pay for public goods by raising revenues through taxes and borrowing and then spending these revenues on public goods. Households, firms, and governments interact with the world through import and export markets. The movement of goods and services and factors of production across borders is facilitated by transportation and communications technologies. For economists, institutions are rules. At the domestic and the international level, institutions provide stability and predictability for households, firms, and governments. Sociopolitical, economic, and technological trends also shape and are shaped by sociopolitical that is a recursion. Shaped by each other. As such, the state of the global order can be assessed across five interpenetrating levels of human activity, namely the socio-political and demographic level, the institutional level, the level of technology, and the economic level. In this analysis, qualitative and quantitative factors contributing to the state of the world are appraised using several indices, namely the Global Peace Index, the State Fragility Index, the Index for Economic Freedom, and the Democracy Index, and then supported by other economic and human development indicators. So if we're trying to understand the world, we can look at it in so many different ways. This approach gives us a sort of a grounding so that we can have a stable platform from which to look at causes and effects. Right now, oops, that one's nice because it's more portable. This is so portable. Alright, stop.